Hi again YouTube, I'm back with another Ultimate Fight review. Before this video starts I want to say I'm sorry for having taken so long with this, it's just I haven't really had a lot of free time to record for the past few days. But you know, I've got this rare opportunity to do something about it, so I'm doing it. And another quick disclaimer, my Ultimate Fighter videos might not be as edited as I promised, but I am going to try to put all my editing energy into backtracking and fight files when I start getting around to those. So let's just get on with the episode, shall we? Alright, so we start off with the fighters getting into the house, and the last one to arrive is Abdel from Team Claudia, and because he's last to arrive, he's last to find a room, and the only room left, or the only bed left rather, is with the female fighters. However, since Abdel is Muslim and very faithful to his wife and to his belief system, he kind of doesn't want to share the room with the girls because it sort of feels like cheating to him in a way. I'm not a Muslim, so I don't fully understand how the system works, but it's something along those lines, and I can respect him for living up to that value. So Cory Hendricks from the same team, you know, being not married, being not attached in any way, decides to take one for the team and takes over in the girls' room while Abdel gets to sleep with the rest of the men folk, which sounds so weird. Speaking of Cory, uh, he winds up having to go to the hospital because in his fight to get into the house, his feet were damaged. It's mostly his left one. Luckily, no bones were broken, but there is quite a bit of swelling. So he does training, but he keeps the weight off his foot. Decides not to pressure it too much, which is a good sign. You know, uh, it's doubly a good sign because he actually fights in the episode. But we'll get to that in a bit. Next, we talk about pretty much a staple of any Ultimate Fight season where the two coaches really don't like each other. And that seems to be probably the best case yet for this is in this season, to be honest, because Joanna and Claudia cannot stand each other. There is tons of trash talk. They get in each other's faces, their respective teams are backing them up. And if the other teams weren't there, they would be ripping each other's throats out. Joanna and Claudia would. They would be trying to. I mean, you could feel the intensity of it. It looked like they were just trying to kill each other with deathly stares and vicious words. Even I felt the tension. You know, I think it's one of the only scenes I can think of where the trash talk between the coaches actually felt like it meant something more. So many of the seasons with great trash talk, like season 14, my favourite season personally, with Bisping and Mayhem, it was more jokey, but they did still share a lot of hate with each other. John Jones and Charles Sonnen didn't really trash talk much. Same with Rousey and Misha Tate, oddly enough. There was a fair bit, but it wasn't as bad. But this season is just it's through the roof intensity in terms of how much they hate each other, because they had fought before in a very close, very controversial fight, and they both want to prove themselves to the other person again. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. But we move on from intensity to a bit of worry, shall we say. Helen Harper from Team Joanna is found by Khalil, who is the one fighting Cory Hendricks, in a freezer trying to get cold because she works up a really horrible fever. She winds up going to hospital, and she's relatively fine. She can't train with the team though because of her illness, and it really sucks when something like this happens in Ultimate Fighter season. Like, not just in illnesses. I mean, she's not out completely. She just can't train for the moment because she wants to, the doctor urged her to try and get better, really. But it really sucks with like any illness, any broken bones during training. That's happened a fair bit. It's like when in season 21 last year, when creepy Steve Montgomery from American Top Team unfortunately had like a really bad. I don't remember what it was, but there was really low sodium, and he wound up having a epileptic fit because of the low sodium. So that was it's really bad when you actually see stuff like that happening. Uh, but yeah, so best of luck to Helen. I hope she actually gets to fight in the tournament proper. Next, we move on to the actual fight itself of Cory Hendricks versus Khalil Rountree. Two teammates, two really good friends, battling each other. Normally, you don't really start off a season proper with two former teammates actually fighting each other. In fact, it's very rare that two teammates actually get into the house at the same time. And when they do, it's very rare that they actually fight each other. I don't know why. Uh, but yeah, it was a very, very good fight. Despite Khalil having better stand up, Cory managed to stand up bang with him really, really well. So I was impressed with that. And when it got to the grappling, I think was when Khalil was at his most doomed. So uh, that was just a really smart choice by Cory. He managed to get a really good takedown on Khalil, managed to take his back, sink in a rear naked choke, won by submission in the first round about midway through. It's a pretty good way to kick off the actual fights of the actual proper season. So, yeah. And then there's the next fight announcement, which is Tatiana from Team Claudia, because she has control now with the Cory from her team winning the fight, so she has control of the fights. So yeah, it's Team Tatiana from Tatiana from Team Claudia against JJ Aldrich from Team Joanna. And I want to say I'm so glad that Claudia decided not to pick Tatiana to fight Helen because of Helen's sickness. So much messing up. But I'm looking forward to that fight. I don't remember much of JJ's fight. I think that was one of the ones I've skipped in the fights to get into theirs. But Tatiana is probably the best wrestler of like either side. Either side. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I am looking forward to it. I hope you all are too. And that's really all that I have to say about that. I'll see you for the next episode. So take care.